Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we are going to talk about what you can expect with the next update when the explosive legendary effect becomes available on energy weapons. Now this is not the return of legacy weapons. The explosive damage is not even close to what it used to be when legacy weapons were part of the game. So even though explosive will be available on basically any ranged weapon, it won't necessarily work. So let's go over some of the ones that won't work first and then talk about the other ones that work. So what'll happen in some cases is it'll work on a weapon, but maybe a certain mod will disable it. So we'll start with the Tesla rifle. It actually, even though I've got an explosive Tesla rifle here, you can see it's Ghoul Slayers, but it's explosive on that second star. It actually doesn't do anything. So here we have a Tesla rifle and there's no explosions. It doesn't affect the damage or anything. It's basically just a dead star. So if you were gonna do a mod on it, say you had an explosive mod, you definitely wouldn't want to use it on the Tesla. Another weapon is the Gamma Gun. It will not work on the Gamma Gun. Here you can see we've got this Stalkers. I just did these random and then did the custom star. So we've got explosive here, and it doesn't do anything either. We've got this. Oh, wow, yeah, the explosions are a lot smaller than they used to be. But yeah, there's no the explosive effect doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect damage. It's just another case of a dead star. And here we have a flamer. It's anti-armor explosive flamer, and it doesn't do anything on the flamers either. And I think because of the range. So when this version of the PTS first came out, flamers actually could have explosive, and this includes plasma flamers as well. The problem is it would just completely break the range, and you could hit stuff much farther away than you should be able to with that explosive projectile. So there's the regular flamer. It doesn't do anything at all. All right, so here we have a plasma pistol, but it's got explosive as well. Now I don't have it modified with the flamer barrel. This is just what is this? An automatic barrel. So with an automatic barrel, you can actually see you do get the explosive effect. And what's cool with a lot of these is that they've got a reworked animation, so you actually get green explosions, which I like. And they've done that for most of the weapons where they work. So we've got that. So now I put the aligned flamer barrel on it, and you can see a flamer barrel, all the explosive effect doesn't do anything at all. It just, it completely just destroys it basically turns that into a dead star. Now, this did work when the PTS first went live, and I even did a video with this, not necessarily this specific weapon in it, but with a explosive plasma flamer in it. It was a lot of fun, but it completely broke the range. I was able to hit things that were much farther away than I should have been able to hit because of that explosive effect. And I suspect that's why it was disabled. Even though it was a lot of fun, I think that was a good idea. Hopefully at some point they figure out a way to make it explosive and keep the range, you know, the normal range that it has with the flamer, because I think that could be pretty fun. But at the moment, yeah, you don't want to have a flamer with any kind of flamer at all. And this includes regular plasma, enclave plasma, any kind of flamer, whether it be a regular flamer or holy fire, because I know someone's going to ask about that specific thing since I didn't mention it. So yeah, anything with a flamer on it is not going to work. And another weapon that will not work is the cryolator, and it doesn't matter what barrel you use, it just doesn't do anything at all. You can see this is explosive on that second star, and it just shoots the regular snowballs that it will do. And if you switch over to the other barrel, it's the same kind of thing. Just explosive is just not, it's a dead star on the cryolator. Now, the Alien Blaster is another one of those where it'll work sometimes and other times it won't, and it depends on what magazine you're using. So if you are using the poison or the cryo mod, it doesn't work. So we've got the poison mod here, and that's just, oh, I only had one in it. Okay, so there's the poison, so it's just the normal poison, and there's no explosion. All right, so I have this modified with the standard magazine. So I've used the standard magazine or the fusion magazine, either one, but not really any reason to use the fusion one because it does quite a bit less damage. So if you use the standard magazine, now you get, as you can see, you get an explosion, and you can see it's been reworked. So it's actually a pretty cool explosion. It's like a little, yeah, I don't know, like a little white something or other. But so they have a custom explosion for this, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it only works this way. If you put on the cryo or the poison on this, you lose that explosive effect. Now, in the past, this was one of the more common legacy weapons that you would see would be a scattered Gatling plasma. Scatter basically means you've got the beam splitter on it, and the beam splitter on this now it disables the explosive effect. So you can see that second star is explosive. So here's what you have. Basically, it turns it into a flamer. That's pretty much what it is. It's a flamer with spin up and no explosive effect. But if we remove the splitter, now I've got the beam focuser on it. And now you can see we're getting explosions, and they're cool. You know, they're these green plasma explosions, which are pretty nice. So yes, you can have an explosive Gatling plasma, just not with a splitter on it. And we have a thirst zapper, which I don't necessarily consider an energy weapon, but when you craft it, that's how it's listed as an energy weapon. So that's why I'm including it. It doesn't work. So explosive just doesn't do anything. And I've just got this modify with the water. You know, I haven't done the explosive one. It doesn't do anything for any of the mods, but this actually did work briefly when the PTS first came online. So it was kind of fun. You could actually have explosive water. Didn't really do much, in terms of damage, but it was still fun to have a squirt gun that had explosive projectiles. But yeah, this is not something you want with the explosive effect on it. So now that we've talked about all the things that don't work, let's have a look at the things that do work. So we have the Crusader pistol, which works on live. So as far as that goes, it hasn't changed at all. And it's not really an energy gun. It's considered a machine or a ballistic gun rather. So, but I do have this modify with the fusion receiver, and you can see the projectiles explode. But this is the same as live, but just showing you anyway, because I'm sure somebody will ask if I didn't mention it. So this is no different than live. And next up we have the pepper shaker, which really isn't an energy gun either, but if you do modify it with the plasma or the fusion, it actually does change the ammo type. So we are including this, and this can have explosive with the plasma or the fusion receiver. And you can see that second star is explosive. And if we do a little spin up here, and we're getting, now this seems like it has different, like it doesn't give you the green animation that you would get if it was an explosive plasma gun. So I don't know if that's going to change at some point, because for the most part, they have changed the animations on the explosive. Well, that's a lot of flashing, but yeah, you can get explosive on basically all variants of the pepper shaker now. Yeah, and when I say you can get it now, what I'm talking about is the next update on September 3rd. So don't get confused. I am on the public test server. This is not a public test. This is not a live server. This is the public test server. I don't think I said that in the beginning of the video. So I just want to make that clear. This is with the next update. This is what we'll see. So now we have the Alien Disintegrator, and what's weird about this is that it doesn't work exactly the same as the Alien Blaster. The explosive effect actually works no matter what receiver you put on it, so not really sure why it's different, but it is. So we've got anti-armor with explosive, and you can see I have the cryo receiver on it, and we are getting those cool explosions. So yeah, if you want to use an alien weapon with a cryo and you want explosive, this is your option. All right, so now we have a Gatling laser. And this is also explosive, and it actually works no matter what you do to it. There is no splitter option, so that's not a thing you need to worry about. But no matter what kind of emitter, what kind of barrel, it doesn't matter. The explosive effect will work on the Gatling laser. And there we go. We've got another cool explosion. I do like that. The little, I like the fact that not all explosions look the same. Depends on the weapon, so I think that's pretty cool. And it works on the Gatling laser, and it also works on the Ultrasight Gatling laser. This one is also explosive. So there is the Ultrasight Gatling laser, and the explosions look exactly the same. We've got different beam color, but the explosives look exactly the same. And then we have the Gauss weapons. We've got the Gauss shotgun, the Gauss minigun, the Gauss rifle, and the Gauss pistol, and it does work on all of those weapons. You will not see it visually because they're all natively explosive already, so the animation is no different, but you will see it in the weapon card. If you have the explosive effect, it will increase the damage. You can see there on the description. Let's see if I can get a little shadow behind that to make it easier to read. All right, that should be a little bit easier to read. Okay, so you can see there we've got that bottom effect, bullets explode for 15% weapon damage. That's normal for Gauss weapons. That's just what you get. And then the projectiles explode for 20% weapon damage. That is what you get with the explosive effect. So you get basically you just get more explosive effect on the weapon, and it will show up as damage in the weapon card, but the animations will look the same. I mean, there's the Gauss shotgun. That's what it looks like on live. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like on the test server. And all the other Gauss weapons are the same. So I don't really need to run through all of them individually because there is no difference. And now we have the plasma caster. That's another weapon where explosive will work as well. You can see that second star is explosive. And I think this one has its own. Yeah, this one's got it's got that same animation that fits the color of the projectile, which I think is pretty cool. So that's kind of a fun addition, having this as explosive. These are already really strong, so I'm not sure that explosive is really going to do much for you other than add entertainment value. And here's a weapon that I'm just not a huge fan of, but you can get explosive on the Salvage Assaultron head now. It actually will work. It doesn't mean I'm going to ever want to use one of these, but let's do the whole charging thing up here. But you can see, and we even get like a red... a red explosion too, so it's actually hard to tell. Let's look at a different color background here. So it's kind of a red, I mean, it kind of combines that white lightning explosive with, yeah, it's like a red lightning effect. But yeah, the explosive effect does actually do something with the, if you're into the Assaultron head, the salvage Assaultron head, then there you go. And here we have a laser gun. Whether it's pistol or rifle, automatic, semi-automatic, doesn't matter. The explosive effect will always work. This one actually has a beam splitter on it, which gives me a chance to mention that the beam splitter actually splits up the damage as well. So just having multiple projectiles, how many, it's not really saying, but with a splitter on, it splits up the projectiles. It actually will split up the explosive damage as well. So this is not a way to get more damage. It'll basically just divide the damage up by however many projectiles you have, and that's the same for plasma weapons as well. So if you have a automatic plasma gun with the splitter on it, you're just going to divide up that explosive damage. Let's see, let's go with a blue background on this one. Yeah, this has a basically kind of a similar, similar visually to the Assaultron head in terms of the explosive impact, which is pretty cool. I like the fact the explosions look different for different weapons. I think that's a really nice touch. And it also works on the Ultrasight laser pistol. Now I think this one, trying to remember that, I think this is the one that doesn't have the right, yeah, they haven't done the animation on this one separately. So it's got the green projectiles, but we're getting the animation from the laser gun. So hopefully that's fixed at some point. I'd like to have the explosions match the color of the beam. Doesn't really make a lot of sense that green turns into red, but that's how it is. At least it works. And here we have the new weapon that'll be coming with the next update. This is the V63 laser carbine. It is a laser weapon, and it will actually also work with the explosive effect. And I don't remember the color of this one. Okay, so this is another one where we've got white beams and we've got red explosions, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure if that's intended. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is what it is. At least it works. That's all I have to say about it. At least you get a weapon where the explosive actually works on it. And there you go. That is what you can expect when we get our next update on September 3rd, and how the explosive legendary effect will be working or not working with energy weapons. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.